Hi everyone, Ryan from Rebel Traders here. It is Wednesday, May 19th, and we're more than halfway through the week. So this is a video we look back at the week that we've had so far, and what a week it has been. We've had that crypto meltdown. Bitcoin went down to 30,000, then came ripping back up again, and of course we had Fed meeting minutes and markets selling off. And so it's been quite the week so far. It's been pretty choppy, pretty volatile. Let's take a deep dive and see where we might be going for the rest of the week here. Okay, before we get things started here, there's my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out, it's available for sale. So let's skip over and take a look at some of the indexes and see where things have been this week and where we might be going. So the first thing I wanted to start out with, as always, I like to look at the yields because I think it's the bond market. It's obviously the bigger markets, and that's why we start here. And so you can see here on the daily, the TLT pretty flat on the day, which is your 20-year treasury, which means that we were down a little bit, which means yields were up. And you can see here that's reflected in the 10-year treasury yield. We see we kicked up a little bit here today, and again, I'm keeping an eye on this because once we start to break out, if we do start to break out from this sort of 1.75 level and start getting up through the 1.8, closer to the 2, I think it's going to be a challenge for the markets. You can see here RSI is still trending back up here, stochastics still holding. So just keeping an eye on that. Right now we're just getting some sideways chop basically on the 10-year yields. Here's the transports on the day. We actually had a pretty, overall, though considering the way we started the day, we had a pretty constructive day. Made back most of its losses and recaptured this 20 moving average. So again, buying brigade. There's not really willing to let some of these indexes sell off before the bargain hunters, the buyers come in. And I think it's partly this, it's the TINA trade. It's there's no other alternative, and it's the only place where money can go right now to have any hope of not losing value over time, because if inflation's running at 4%, and you're in a treasury bill that's paying 2, you're basically losing money. So again, the transports on the week, we are down, but sort of off the lows. Here's the Dow. It's sort of the same as the transports, basically. We did put in a lower high here, and we did try to sell off, but obviously came right back up. And I think if we look at the 4-hour chart quickly, just to see, or 2-hour chart, just to see how things, I see the last, we did sell off at the beginning and then sort of came right back up. So nice recovery on the Dow. On the weekly here, we're still halfway, not quite half, we're just over halfway through the week and down a little bit. But again, got really extended up here. So I don't see this as being a serious, serious correction. We're not going to have a big dump, I don't think. But we were getting very extended from these moving averages, which I've been saying all along. So we are just getting back sort of reversion to the mean, as they say. The Qs actually put in a pretty sound day to here. We put in a double bottom by the looks of it, and the Qs really didn't sell off any further. They just started to come back up, and they did it on volume. So we had some bargain hunters, some buyers coming in here. So interesting. The Qs actually, again, we may be just stuck trading in a range here. RSI is turning up a bit here, and we are still well below these moving averages. So if we do have another good day tomorrow, I would say sort of 325-ish on the Qs is going to be resistance. We can get up that high. On the week, again, we're putting together the 5th down week in a row here, although we are slowing in terms of our momentum maybe to the downside. And again, we've got a pretty significant level of support here around 310. The SPY, again, sort of same story as the Q. We did test this prior low here, and pretty impressive day. Bounced off it, on volume, even though we did finish down on the day from yesterday, from Tuesday. Still a pretty decent performance on the SPY. But again, just shows you there are buyers sort of waiting in the wings when we get down to those levels, the prior support. And the IWM, again, the IWM not performing that badly. We looked like we were going to sell off at the open, and we did for a while, and then we came right back up, and still finishing down on the day. But in terms of a close, it wasn't a bad close when you go out near the highs of the day. IWM on the week, we do still look like we're rolling over, although every time it looks like we're going to be selling off, there are buyers that are coming in. So still got 2 days to go on that. And the dollar actually bounced back a little bit today after this brutal sell-off that started Thursday. Had a bit of an inside day here, and then Monday, Tuesday, terrible. Thursday or Wednesday, big gap. Tuesday, big gap down, and then had a bit of a comeback day today after bouncing off this level that's way back here. So still keeping an eye on the dollar, but that's been, this bounce back today I think hurt some of the materials group. And here's our Bitcoin action. You can see here, got all the way down to 29,925 and came back up, and now we seem to be selling off again here. So yeah, a lot of what we call technical damage has been done here when you just lose a level that's been pretty significant support. When you lose that level, you really shatter the confidence of people that have been buying dips. So we are really oversold here. You can see the stochastics are starting to turn back up again. RSI really oversold as well. So we'll see if we can mount a bit of a recovery on the Bitcoin. So let's take a quick look at what performed well in terms of sectors. You can see here we had a pretty big gap down on the discretionary, which has been just taken to the woodshed here. But we did have a bit of a comeback day, so maybe trying to find a bit of a bottom here. Communications came back up and challenging the 50 moving average. Technology actually did pretty well today, had a nice comeback after that initial sell-off. Materials did not quite fare as well, and of course probably in part due to the strength, or at least relative strength of the US dollar just today. Energy really took a hit today. And staples, again, just sort of a nothing day. Healthcare is just sort of hanging in there. Utilities, again, finished up on the day. This will be our safety trade with the staples. And financials, big sell-off day. It did come back up, but again, definitely down on the day by about 0.6% there. So yeah, I'd be watching technology again for strength tomorrow. And as long as the interest rates don't start creeping back up again, we may get some more money rotating back into technology communications, because they look like the strongest sectors overall in the market today. So let's take a quick look at some of the stocks I'm watching, keeping an eye on, and maybe one or two that I'm in. As I mentioned earlier, because of the volatility and I would say a little less predictability in the market these days, I've tended to be pretty agile with my trades, number one, and number two, I've raised a lot of cash here, so keeping my share size down a little bit while we get through this bout of volatility in the market that we're probably going to have for the next month or so. Anyway, let's start out by looking at BTX. BTX is a very low float stock. I think it's under 2 million shares, but you can see here had that big run up. Went as high as what is that? That's went as high as $80 here. It's back down at 17.93. We're back down at a moving average here. They do have a conference coming up on May 25th, which is 6 days away. That would probably be on, I guess that would be the Tuesday. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I guess if they have any good news coming out of this, it might be good for another run back up here. Stochastics are very oversold, which usually is a good time to take an entry on the trade. It's always a matter of timing. But keeping an eye on BTX, no position yet. Again, these alternative energy plays, I've mentioned these numerous times. I really like them. I've been in and out of a few of them. And right now I'll get to the one play I'm in right now on it in a few minutes here. GDX, I got out because I knew this candle here was probably going to result in a pullback, and so we've had a lot of volatility in gold, but I am looking to re-enter on that trade. But when you get a move like this, you know, three candles that just go like ballistic, you know, you're due for a correction. So did want to get out of the rest of that after that move, and now just looking for a place to re-enter again on this. It was really getting overbought. So again, just have to be nimble. So this is the way I'm playing these clean energy sector right now. This is, you know, we got a nice engulfing candle here. Picked some up today, and when it was down, it looked like it was starting to strengthen up. But this is a sector that seems to be warming up a bit. I like the way the stochastics are looking. MACD is crossed. RSI is hurting up. So I'm just going to hold on to this. It's got a long way to run back up. And if we ever get some infrastructure deal done, it's probably going to include some clean energy, which is kind of the fundamental case I'm making for being in this as well. Again, LAC, not in this one right now. It looked like it was going to break out. Might look at that tomorrow and see, and that's again a clean energy trade, lithium used in batteries. This Allscripts stock, I missed this breakout, unfortunately. I'm just got an entry. I've got an alert set. If I do get a bit more of a pullback here, I'll be looking for an entry. But always watch stocks that are, if they're strong on weekdays, you know, usually you have to keep an eye on them. Plug, again, this is a nice trading stock here. Again, clean energy breaking out, and again, liking these clean energy trades right now. Upstart, this was the one I traded back, I think back here, and then traded it again today, just a day trade. It really did run up a lot. I'd expect a pullback tomorrow, but these are the kinds of stocks when they're strong in the face of weakness. When you get a sell-off like we had in the morning, it started out low, but then of course the buyers came back in again, drove it up. So it's always good to keep an eye on strong stocks, especially when you gap down like we did today, and it started to run. So we'll just wrap things up. We'll take a look at where things are right now in terms of the pre-market futures, overnight futures. We're looking like we've got a little bit of a down market right now, very minimal, nothing too exciting here after that exciting Wednesday. You can see here the treasuries, they're all off a little bit, which is, I guess, good if you're a bull. And gold's down a little, silver's down, and I'm expecting a little further weakness on that, and that'll give me an opportunity to get long again. Oil's up a little bit, and yeah, so that's it. Again, keep an eye on technology. Seems to be where money's rotating at this particular moment. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. And again, we'll be starting the market show on YouTube live 8 o'clock. Jared engineering the markets, and then 8:30 Norm and Carlos will be taking us through the pre-market show, looking at where things are hot and what we could be looking to play in the morning. So hope we'll see you there. Of course, trading the market open at 9:30. And yeah, have a good rest of the evening, everybody, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.